team full of talents. You have they're so good with spiking. Murado de Guzman is #1 in setting right now. Their spikers are so good, even in out of system, they can easily score. And going into the semis, they can really bank on their service. They have 3 players in the top 10 of serving. You have #1, Gemma Galanza, and then Gia is there, Tots Carlos is there. As a team, they're just very intact.
Creamline made Cherry Tigo look bad in that first game,
Yeah.
but since then, Cherry Tigo has come up with 2 very big wins. We've been saying it time and time again as part of the panel, Pao and Ayel. Makadalawang sunod ka dito sa PVL Invitational. It's big, and that's what's happening to Cherry.
Yeah, exactly. It's a team that made a lot of noise going into the Invitational Conference because they have a lot of super rookies in them. But talking about having an X factor, definitely it's still gonna be Mylene Paat, who I think her leadership, being vocal and leading by example is gonna be important in their next games, especially that they're still playing PLDT.
Yeah, second top scorer of the team behind EJ Laure. You take a look at the super rookies, as we talked about, and we were wondering how they would adapt and adjust to the pro scene. So how would you assess their adaptation so far?
They're just so good, and we're not surprised because how they performed in their collegiate career, they're so already good. And we talked about it in the previous interview that the gap from improving is small na lang because they're already so good. And A. Laura scoring 19 points in their previous game is really big.
19 and 14 the last game, so not so bad. Pauline has come,
as a middle,
as you said, adjusted into the middle, has been very good. 11 points in their second to the last game, and then the win yesterday again. All right, PLDT, they're still in it. They got a game against Jerflor tomorrow. Tell me about their chances.
They have still a big chance because this is still a team with a lot of veterans. You have Rhea de Maculangan, you have Jovi Prado, you have Kat Arado, is a very excellent libero, Del Palomata, a great middle. But then for them, I think they just need to execute better and to really sustain their energy and, have the better intensity. We talked about this off-air that, in other teams, you have CC Rondina, Tots Carlos.
May Tagarali.
You have Gretchen Sotones, we're trying to look for that intensity from PLDT as well.
And we're hoping Jovi Prado is good. And by the way, after the injury yesterday, we're praying for her.
Yeah, hopefully. And, you said intensity is key word. Where would that come from? You take a look at the roster and how it's composed right now, the players who have been contributing. Where do you think that intensity can come from if you're PLDT?
Definitely from Mitch Morente. She's one of the players who we know who always has that energy and intensity and playing. But then, collectively as a team, that's something that we're looking forward to see also from their next game.
All right, we got to talk about the bloodbath that is Pool B.
That's what B stands for.
Yes, exactly. There will be blood. Signal 3-1, F2 3-1, Petro 3-1, Choco Mucho, as you mentioned, 2-1. All right, give us your take first on the first two. Let's say Signal, diretso ka na ng F2.
Signal right now, I think they are really in a better form compared from the previous conference. They are a team full of veterans. Also, you have Jovelyn Gonzaga, Ces Molina, Rachel Andakis. So right now, they can really work on their floor defense and their receive because Jel Cayuna has been great in terms of combination play. So offensively, they can be really good whenever they get that good first touch of the ball. Second to that, you have F2 Logistics, who won big against Choco Mucho. And, the teamwork also of the coaches was a big factor. The last 2 challenges in that 5th set was really something that turned around their game.
But a true coaching win, ano?
Exactly.
A coaching staff win. Yeah.
And that one coach was a very, adamant to say na may net touch talaga. But for me, the X factors will really be the rookies because F2 is a system that's already well established. So, Jolina De La Cruz, Mars Alba, Ivy Laxina, I would say a rookie because she was converted to an outside hitter. Them stepping up will be the X factor because they are part of the starters.
Yeah, and you mentioned them as we talked about adapting a while ago in terms of Cherry. Take a look at F2 and the way that these rookies have slotted in a system that, a bit familiar to them based on their college backgrounds. Do you think that there are still noticeable jumps and improvement that they can make this conference?
Oh, definitely. I've talked to some of their teammates. They're saying that Mars Alva has still so much to improve, but it's not showing that much because she's been great in terms of decision making, of play making. You have Ivy Laxina and Jols who are starting as outside hitters. So that's something big. They showed that they can stay composed in their game against Choco Mucho, but they were challenged by the veterans towards the end by Petrogas. So let's see how they can come back in their game on Tuesday against Photon.
Signal, a regular customer in the podium.
Yeah.
F2 got to the podium the last time, so championship aspirations
For both.
for both those two teams. Especially when you talk about Petro, they want to get back there, and boy, did they prove it the last time out, that marathon win yesterday.
Exactly. For Petrogas, there's not much to say about them because they're a team that's so composed. They know how to take control, not just of the game, but really of their side of the game. It just really shows their veteran experience shows in how they play. You know, you have Isa Pontillas, Cheng also in her playmaking. And it shows in their game against F2. Exactly. Gretchen Soltones, 31 big points.
Wow,
for her.
first 30 piece of
So for them,
the
it's
year.
just a matter of consistency, really, because they know how to take good control of their game.
You know, they came from losing their first game and now on a 3-game
Oo nga,
win streak.
tama.
So you take a look at all of that together, you can argue that they're hitting their stride when they need to. Now we have to talk about Choco Mucho because you mentioned a while ago, we didn't even discuss this off the air, you mentioned a while ago that Choco Mucho was the most improved team for you. Just what has changed for Choco Mucho?
CC Rondina, I would say, really the missing piece of Choco Mucho in terms of scoring and leadership. But one thing also very evident in Choco Mucho is their blocking formation. Teams are really having a difficult time with their net defense. You know, they probably outnumbered F2 in blocking in their game last Tuesday, which is uncharacteristic because we know F2 has a really good blocking team. So that's one thing that they can really continue to work on, and they're number one in spiking as well. So a lot of improvements for Choco Mucho.
The other day when they lost in that, tremendous game against F2, was that one of those good losses for them? That there were a lot of takeaways even in that loss because they came back so many times. And the other thing is, and Mela made this point when she was here on the show, yes, CC Rondina is a big addition, obviously from an offensive standpoint, but what did it do to the others also? Why are they better also? What's your opinion?
Well, with CC Rondina leading in terms of scoring, it gave, other players just in a comfortable position to also play their game and not to really overthink that I have to do this, I have to do that. Desiree Cheng was excellent
before the heat extraction.
Even Cherry Nunag, who has also stepped up.
Yeah, you're right.
Even Dina Wong has been really excellent with her playmaking. So, collectively as a team, they're starting to really develop that chemistry.
We always talk about the technical things happening right now, but then si Coach Regine Jago mentioned that even mentally right now it's becoming a big challenge here, managing this entire campaign because of how quick the games come and the
Mentally,
pressure
physically.
happening. So how important
Sana may
is the
aircon
mental
bukas.
side? Oh, sana may aircon rin. Oo, true. We'll both be there, so please. You talk about the mental side here. Just how much more important is it right now with the amount of games and the pressure of the groups trying to make it to the next stage?
No, it's very important. We always say that you can't go too high, you can't go too low when you win, like F2 when they won. It's probably the adrenaline was there. It was a big win for them, especially that it was a turnaround given the challenges. But, after that, next day, balik talaga sa trabaho. You have to focus because every game is important. And again, we talked about this. You can't wake up on the wrong side of the bed.
Yep.
You can't have an off day right now because
not right
every
now.
game, every point is very important because we can lead into the quotient. If
Correct.
That's a lot of math.
And as much as we joke about the situation of the Heat the other day in Phil Sport, it changes substitution patterns.
Exactly.
It changes when you take out Des Cheng, it changed the
Cherry
game for
Nunag
them.
also.
Cherry. So these things matter. Kaya gusto mo sana it's the players who win it and not all of the
External
other outside
factors,
factors. Right. Ayel, as always, thank you very much, and enjoy the games tomorrow because they're going to be crucial.